Now to some consumer news. A resident of Cortez had reached out to our station saying that she found mold in the home that she was renting.
Our reporter Alex Prieto Rivero spoke with Christy Carter, who took the case to court and now has advice on how others looking to buy a home or rent can avoid winding up in a similar situation.
It was everywhere in there, underneath the carpets, in the subfloors, in the laundry room, in my son's room. It was just black mold everywhere.
Christy Carter moved into a rental property 7 years ago with her 2 sons, and for the past 4 years, her family suddenly suffered from unknown health problems. Then in January of last year, Christy discovered mold growing in the kitchen. She asked her landlord to remediate the mold, but was left unsatisfied.
I asked for a professional to come out. She had scheduled with them to come. I took the day off, went to go wait for them, and they never showed up.
Carter called the company and was told her landlord canceled the appointment. Carter says a crew eventually did come to the property to remove the mold, but the solution applied wasn't the right treatment to kill mold in wood.
They just gave me the runaround. They wouldn't come fix the mold. They told me that I was lying, told me that there was no mold in there, that I was making it up. So I had found more behind the dishwasher and sent them pictures of it and told them I'd keep finding more all the time.
Eventually, a team came out to remove the mold, and during that process, the team tested the air.
That place told me that that was the worst mold-infested place that they have ever seen in their life.
That's when Carter took her landlord to court and wound up with a settlement. Carter has this advice for any future property owners or renters.
I would definitely have people make sure that there is no mold in their homes. Maybe do like an air sampling test or something before people move in. Inspect everything really good, because just because your house is clean and stuff doesn't mean that there's not mold growing in there. It likes to hide. It likes to be in dark places, under floorings, under cabinets, underneath your washer and dryer in your laundry room.
It's a cautionary tale for both renters and landlords. Alex Prieto Rivero, KREX 5 News.
Burst pipes, damp conditions, mold moving in. Tenants say it's so bad it's making their kids sick.
Section 8 renters in Bellingham are sharing their horror stories with Fox 13's Lauren Donovan. They're hoping for some help before stormy weather makes the situation even worse.
The flooding of the apartments is just getting ridiculous these days.
Renters tell me weeks ago during the cold snap, record-freezing temps sent this Bellingham complex into a state of chaos. Fire sprinklers burst, flooding units occupied by low-income tenants.
That's when all the water started coming down. 6 inches of water in my complex.
When we showed up here at the Meadowood townhomes, everyone was eager to talk. Everyone had a story to share. They say conditions in these Section 8 rentals are horrific. And unfortunately, the company that runs this place is refusing to do anything about it.
I feel kind of frightened, like what is wrong with this apartment complex?
19-year-old Augustine Foster is waiting on a voucher. She's worried about raising her 1-year-old daughter in a place like this.
I want to get out of here. Mold's been growing in the apartment.
Neighbor James Wrights tells me in the 5 years he's lived here, mold's been a serious issue.
That there is mold in the apartment.
And it's still on the growing list of things to fix.
And they just keep telling us, well, just keep using bleach, use bleach. And the problem is we have little ones. We have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they have respiratory issues because of the mold in our house. And within 1 day, their feet look like they've been walking through charcoal.
James shared these shocking photos from inside his apartment, seeping through the carpet, creeping up the walls. It's everywhere.
We've scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, and it just keeps coming back.
I stopped by the front office here, talked to management, asked them to comment on these complaints. They're refusing to do so. Reporting in Bellingham, Lauren Donovan, Fox 13 News.
New at 5, local families say severe mold problems are destroying their belongings and impacting their health. Action Jack's Jake Stofan is live in Orange Park. Jake, the units there are less than 2 years old.
Well, and it's not just one unit that's having this mold problem either. We spoke with 3 different renters here who all say they're dealing with it, and so far they are not happy with the response from the property manager. Mold covering clothes, furniture, and even the bed. That's been the reality for at least 3 neighbors renting townhomes in the Grove Point neighborhood over the past several weeks. Making matters worse, the neighbors say the property manager, Invitation Homes, has been slow to respond and has offered little in the way of temporary housing to get residents out of the mold-infested units.
They said Airbnb is not on the table, hotel is not on the table. They're not offering that. The only thing that they want to offer me is to break my lease.
And we have reached out to the property manager. We'll tell you what they have to say about this mold situation coming up on Action News Jax at 6. For local coverage you can count on live in Orange Park, I'm Jake Stofan, Action News Jax.
Dallas city leaders are again under fire for neglecting another city-owned building. But this case could be the most egregious because of who the building serves. Families with children in need of emergency shelter. Fox 4's Lori Brown is live with that. Lori.
Clarice, the Family Gateway Center's roof was damaged in the May 28th storm, but today, 3 months later, the roof has still not been replaced. Today, Dallas city leaders explained that they were trying to figure out who was responsible for making the repairs.
So there's mold along the baseboards, underneath, through the walls. I would not put my child in there for daycare, especially my baby.
3 months after the May 28th storm damaged the roof of the Simmons Family Gateway Resource Center, the leaky roof has still not been replaced. Mold damage forced the center to close housing units and also the child care center.
I'm super frustrated that we knew that roof needed to be replaced. We didn't replace it. We've damaged the building, and now we're going to pay for it.
Council members grilled city staff about why it is taking so long to get the roof replaced.
I think originally the city thought that it was the tenant's responsibility based on whatever agreement they thought they had in place at that time to get it done.
The property is a former hotel in far north Dallas, purchased by the city in December 2020. The purpose, to provide emergency housing for families with children experiencing homelessness.
This is not like a storage facility for trucks or something. This is where families in desperate situations of their lives are living. And for it to take 2-3 months to actually get this resolved is pretty terrible.
The city awarded Family Gateway the contract to serve as a property manager and provide supportive services.
I don't think there's any question that we were responsible for that. So the only question is who didn't read the contract. I think this is another shocking case, and I'm really getting tired of so many shocking real estate cases where we have not taken care of our assets.
This is the 4th city-owned property Fox 4 News has recently highlighted for neglect and disrepair. One of our stories showed how squatters took over a vacant building next to City Hall. That building was the previous home to Family Gateway. And even worse for the city, the nonprofit group recently raised $3 million on its own to renovate its new location.
We caused that mold by not acting.
Dallas City Council members explained to city leaders that if something like this ever happens again, that they can call on the City Council to hold a special emergency meeting to figure things out. Councilman Chad West asked for the city leaders to return next month for a follow-up. Clarice.